Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inside Scoop. My name is Dan, and I'm the primary content creator here on I Feel Like Learning. Inside Scoop is a series where I'll be talking to students in a wide variety of majors to see what it's really like to be enrolled in their specific major programs. We'll also discuss the career opportunities that these students have after graduating. Welcome to Inside Scoop. Hey everyone. So today I'm joined with Anna. You guys might know Anna from the I Feel Like podcast. If not, you guys should definitely go check that out. You can check out the website in the description. It's linked to also the podcast. So if you want to hear her talk a little bit more about some other maybe non-school or learning related activities, definitely do that. But today I'm going to be talking with Anna, who's another fellow college student, about her major. So I guess just to start off, Anna, what major are you?
My major is called business and engineering. It's kind of a little different. It's very specific to the college I go to. I don't think many colleges have something similar. And if they do, it's probably not called business and engineering.
Mhm. Yeah, it seems like kind of like a mix match of a couple different fields. So it'll definitely be interesting as we get into it. So I guess kind of just to start out, I guess, what attracted you to choosing this major?
Sure. So originally, when I went into college my freshman year, I was biomedical engineering. But as I started to get into some of that coursework, I realized some of the really hard technical sciences were not quite for me, specifically physics.
I can relate.
And I found myself becoming interested in businesses and kind of how they ran. And I know I've always kind of had a little dream in my head to be a business owner. Uh, and not that this major teaches you how to start a business, but I thought switching to a degree where I could still use my engineering foundation that I had established with my engineering major, and coupling that with core business classes and ideas would be a good next step for me. And I do enjoy the medical device industry and technical scientific aspects of engineering. So, what attracted me to business and engineering was the chance to get to learn the business stuff that would allow me to work in a business department for a technical company.
Okay, so it definitely seems like this major is kind of focusing a little bit more on business, but business for like engineering companies and firms. Is that kind of a correct assumption?
Right. The major's kind of like the intersection of business and technology slash engineering. So with this degree, it's pretty unlikely that I would go and become a project engineer. But this major is really well suited for people who want to work in the tech industry, engineering, science, medicine, but maybe more in a business role, not quite like research and development or
Oh,
something like
okay.
that.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's cool. So, what's life like as a student in this major between like classes, activities, all that?
Well, I did mention that I switched to this major fairly recently. So and especially with everything being online recently, I don't have a ton of experience with a social life or attending in-person classes. But I guess what I will say is it almost is a little bit weird taking, because half your classes are business foundations, like accounting, economics, statistics, stuff like that, and then the other half is all the sciences that the engineers take, so basic chemistry, physics, programming, and some more concentrated classes in mechanical engineering or chemical engineering. So it is a little weird, I guess, belonging to both the business college and the engineering college.
Is it like a 50-50 split between like the amount of business classes you would take and the amount of engineering classes, or is it like kind of heavily skewed in one direction?
I think I would say it's maybe about like 70-30 split. I would say there is actually I don't know. I don't think it's quite 50-50, but the business classes are definitely a little more heavily weighted.
Okay.
But within the business classes, we do take more decision sciences classes. So more stuff like dealing with analytics and programming for business, which a typical business major probably wouldn't take as many of those classes. So even though we do take more business classes, like we take a more advanced business statistics class and we take more decision sciences class. So I guess our business classes are a little more like the analytical STEM direction
Hmm.
than just like
Yeah, that's cool.
theory or whatever.
I didn't really know that that was like an option, I guess, for students who are pursuing business to kind of focus in on these specific like science and engineering aspects. That's cool. I guess just what's something you wish you knew about this major before you started into it?
Something I wish I knew, I guess a little bit maybe more about the opportunities with this degree. Since I did switch in to this, it was almost like an easier transition since I had a lot of the credits already and stuff
Hmm.
like that. But still, I still don't really know exactly what types of career this degree would be really useful for. And I don't really know a whole lot about opportunities in like business analytics and those other decision sciences because that was something I really didn't know existed until I saw the coursework we had to take. So I guess just learning more about some kind of new innovative things you can do with business degrees because I feel like everybody knows like finance, accounting, the really traditional stuff, but I think in more recent years and into the future there's going to be a lot of innovation and advancement that is not just traditional accounting or finance. It's
Hmm.
really going to intersect with technology, and especially as companies rely more on analytics and more advanced like technology and stuff.
So I guess you just kind of answered my next question, but I guess like in terms of career opportunities for students in this major, it sounds like obviously there's your accounting, finance, kind of typical business things, but it also seems like it's kind of going in a direction that's leading to more advanced topics that more intersect with like science, technology, engineering, like you were saying, right?
Definitely, and I think this major is well suited for maybe where the business world is going, but you can definitely still do a more traditional finance or accounting route with this major. How it kind of works is there's everyone in the major has the same required courses, but then you get to declare a business minor or like a concentration area, if you will, and same thing for the engineering aspect. So with that, you really can customize it to what you're interested in.
Hmm.
So people who were more interested in the traditional paths could just decide to get like a finance minor and pursue that. But if you wanted to do something a little different, you could minor in like business analytics, like operations management, management information systems, which is a really new big thing that companies are really seeing a need for. I know that's pretty popular in the business world today, and that's very intersection of business and technology.
Oh, okay, cool. So I guess with knowing all of this and learning a lot more about this kind of major program, what's next for you after graduation? I guess where do you think you're going to end up in terms of where you're going to fall in this intersection between business and engineering?
That's a good question. One I don't necessarily have an answer to at this time, but I think right now my plan is to definitely take more classes and concentrate in the analytics and operations side, just because I think, well, I do think that that is interesting. And especially with like social media and stuff, I've already been exposed to how they provide analytics based on like who your audience is and the demographics. And I think that is really interesting. And I think that would be cool to see on like a large scale company. So I definitely think it would be interesting to learn more about that and potentially go into like a business analytics or like a supply chain analytics position. But I mean, I haven't taken any of those classes yet, so we'll see if it's as interesting as I think it is. I mean, I've already taken like a couple programming classes and it's kind of not for me, but I don't know, maybe it'll be different this time.
Yeah. I know just from my experience, programming is not my forte either. So I hope that it does go differently for you.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what my future is, but
And at this point, especially at this point in our lives, we don't know what's going to happen. But I think what's most important, especially at this stage, and not just our lives, but just if you are a college student who's kind of in the middle of your college years, is just to kind of start thinking about it. Start thinking about like what opportunities are available to you, what things you might want to do after college. And I think that things like this series, are helpful to not only prospective students in choosing a major, but also students currently in these majors trying to figure out what they want to do with their life.
yeah, and I think the thing that I really appreciate about my major is you're not really locked into anything. Like with my previous major, your option was biomedical engineering. You really couldn't pursue much else. But I like with the major now that I have and being able to declare certain concentrations after you've gotten some experience in different classes and found out what interests you. I do like that you have some more options. And even if you minor in something, I feel like the business education we get and even the engineering education we get is so broad that you would have a lot of options if you decided that you didn't want to pursue maybe what you minored in.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'd like to thank you so much, Anna, for coming on today. I think honestly, in the future, I might do an episode about just in general people who switched majors because you talked about how you switched from biomedical engineering. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but I also actually started as a biomedical engineering major. That's how I met Anna in the beginning of college. And we have some other friends too who ended up switching their major. So I think that that might be a cool episode to do in the future, but definitely let me know if you want to see that.
An episode for
Um,
the biomed dropouts.
yeah, honestly. But yeah, also be sure to check out the I Feel Like podcast. You can check out our website in the description below for information on that. And yeah, thank you, Anna, for coming on today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
And that was an inside scoop into the life of a business and engineering major. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below or contact us via our website. The link can be found in the description. Thank you for watching this episode of Inside Scoop. Be sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all of our new releases. New episodes of Inside Scoop will be available every Friday. Also, be sure to check out other content from I Feel Like Learning as well as all the other I Feel Like productions. Until next time, keep asking questions, keep staying informed, and keep on learning.